Hey, how about a little sharp-dressed man on a Saturday afternoon in San Diego? Welcome back. What an amazing day here in America's finest city. We're coming to you live from Horton Square, where Habitat for Humanity is doing their demo build for their IB build. One of the things that we wanted to talk about real quick before, or one of the things Chris wanted to bring up, Chris Merrick, was a challenge. He wanted to issue a challenge out to all those concrete contractors that are out there. If you're a concrete contractor out there and you're listening to us, or you know somebody, if you're listening to us and you know somebody who is a concrete contractor, we want to issue a challenge. We're looking for a concrete contractor to pour 4 slabs for us for this Imperial Beach build that's coming up, Habitat for Humanity's Imperial Beach build. They need 4 concrete slabs. Go to sdhfh.org. That's sdhfh.org. It's a challenge to you concrete contractors. We're looking for you to jump in there with us and help us with those 4 slabs. We really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much in advance for jumping in and helping us. Hey, welcome back, San Diego. I'm your host, Mike Litton with Keller Williams Realty. You're listening to the Real Estate Zone, all the information you need in today's market. Make sure you tune in next week. We'll have Nancy West of the United States Department of Housing and Urban Development on the show to tell us what HUD is doing here in San Diego County to promote homeownership. They have some amazing programs that are available to you. You will not want to miss this show. We're ready for your calls at 1-800-760-5362. That's 1-800-760-5362. Hey, Eric Phillips from Georgia Law is back with us. Hey, thank you so much for staying with us, Eric. I really appreciate it. Now, you can reach Eric directly at 1-800-CREDIT-911. That's 1-800-CREDIT-911. One of the things we were talking about before we left, and I apologize we ran out of time.
You know, just before we do that, I just have to tell you, you and I always kind of talk about how the market's sparking up. And
Absolutely.
And this is another wonderful example of forward progress action
Absolutely. I
that
totally
we're seeing
agree.
in our community, and
Totally
action going on. People wanting to get into home, ownership again, and it excites me even when I sit in an environment like this.
Yeah, and watching, and having the volunteers down here and having the contractors down here and all the, you don't hear it now, but right before we went on the air, they wrapped up for today.
Yeah.
But we had saws going, we had hammers going, we had all kinds of stuff going on. I mean, it was a full-fledged.
It's very exciting.
Full-fledged construction project.
Well, when was the last time we got to go to a construction site?
Exactly.
I mean, think about that.
Exactly.
So
I mean, it's home building's something, like I said, that's not happening a lot in San Diego right now. And there are a lot of contractors that are kind of out of work and have a little bit of time on their hands. And one of the things that I wanted to do was I wanted to specifically encourage them to come down and help us. Come down and meet some of the volunteers. Come down and you never know who you're going to meet. You never know where your opportunity is going to come from. And you and I both know a big part of success in business is networking.
I was just going to say, to be able to come down and be in this kind of well, first of all, the weather's unbelievable. That's why we're in San Diego. But to be around the different tradespeople and people who are active and business going on.
Exactly.
And like you said, that's my favorite word, is to network. To be able to come down here and possibly meet somebody and say, I can use help here, use help there, let's go.
You and I would have never met if it hadn't have been for people that we knew in common. Because we never met each other directly. We had people that actually referred you to us.
Part of the forward progress.
Exactly, because we had clients who had issues with credit, and they said, you know what? If you've got somebody who has issues with credit, you've got to talk to Eric. You've got to have Georgian Law help you, because they're doing amazing things for us. I mean, the referrals that we get about you guys are absolutely amazing. I mean, the things you guys are doing, it's really, really positive, and it's wonderful stuff. These are people that wouldn't otherwise be able to buy. No. It's quite honestly, that's what's going on here.
And more sadly, to find out that you're at let's say at a 626 score, and all you need is a 640 to come in with 3.5% down on a $200,000 or $250,000 unit, and to consider yourself knocked out of the market because you don't understand it, you're not familiar with what you should know in order to come back in, is just ridiculous.
Well, we talked the other day with Kurt, about from W.J. Bradley about the lady that had the one late with Macy's.
30-day late with Macy's. They came right down to close the loan. She had missed the payment.
Cost her $6,000 in the closing. $6,000 in extra closing costs simply because she had a 30-day late with Macy's.
And do you remember what caused a 30-day late? She had made a payment, an electronic payment with the phone, and Macy's had inverted the last 2 digits of one of her account numbers, so the payment didn't close, caused an error, cost her $6,000.
Which is exactly why I think people should call you, because they need to take control. They need to take control of what's happening with their credit, and the best way to do that is to call you at 1-800-CREDIT-911. That's 1-800-CREDIT-911. And you're Eric at Georgian Law. It's E-R-I-C.
E-R-I-C. E-R-I-C at Georgian. And Georgian's an odd spelling. It's Georgin as in Nancy, L-A-W. Eric at Georgian Law. I also have our Director of Marketing who makes herself very, very available to assist me in helping to counsel people, because we do get a lot of phone calls. We want to try to help as many people as we can. But her name is Kylie Stevens.
Right.
You and I discussed Kylie earlier. She's a wonderful gal, and we're honored to have her. But she's K-Y-L-E-N-E, Kylie, at Georgia Law. So you're welcome to call again, 800-CREDIT-911. Ask for Kylie, ask for myself. We're here. We want to counsel. We don't charge. We need to get this information out.
And there's no pressure either. You know, one of the things that you guys do is you sit down and help them put a plan together. If it works, great. If it doesn't, you shake hands and you go your separate ways, but at least they get an education. At least they understand what they need to do to take control of their credit destiny and their financial destiny.
Well, and even as we encourage people, if you just break it down, as you and I discussed before the break, or before your prior guest, was, you know, there's only 4 options. It's either loan mod, deed in lieu of foreclosure, short sale, or foreclosure, and of course that all hinges upon whatever your current income is in your current credit condition.
Absolutely.
And one of the things we were experiencing...
How about Rapid Rescore first?
All right, well, yeah, Rapid Rescore is a great system. Earlier we had discussed how the credit bureaus work, and I just want to kind of touch on that again.
That's fine.
Yeah, a credit bureau is just a broker of information. A credit bureau is not consumer friendly. It's creditor friendly.
They don't work for the consumer.
They don't work for the consumers. They work for the creditor for the 50 years that the system's been in play. A creditor pays a subscription fee to share its information with other creditors. That's the essence of credit reporting, in order to limit liability. So the credit bureau's obligations to the creditors themselves has nothing to do with the consumers. So we have always advocated for the 34 years that I've been doing commercial and consumer credit, go directly to your credit. Whatever the issue is, as long as you don't have a history of abusing the account, meaning being over limit, continually delinquent, in this kind of a market, the creditors are really going to work with you, and they're sympathetic to things as errors in electronic billing, whatever it is. The point is, you know, if somebody's experiencing something recent on the credit, and what we basically look at are the last 24 months. It's the last 24 months that hurt you the most. Everybody check your credit, go to annualcreditreport.com, get a hold of myself, get a hold of Kylie, and let's help everybody out.
1-800-CREDIT-911, 1-800-CREDIT-911, Eric Phillips, Georgia Law. Thank you so much
for
being
Mike.
here. Really appreciate it, man. Thank you again.
Have a good
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's our show. Thank you to Eric Phillips, our credit expert, our special guest, Chris Merrick, and Ellen Immergood from Habitat for Humanity San Diego for joining us. As always, I want to thank you for spending part of your Saturday with us. So until next week, have a fun and safe weekend, everybody. I'm your host, Mike Litton with Keller Williams Shirley. You're listening to The Real Estate Zone, airing every Saturday afternoon at 3 on 760 KFMB.